Hello, for this dish we have like 2 nice heads of broccoli, which we're going to rinse off. And we have like 3 to 4 nice scallions. These are really nice fresh scallions. Also basil. So you need like 10 leaves of basil. This is a purple basil or opal basil, but you can use a green fresh basil, will work. Also a couple pinches of pepper flakes. I'm using some grapeseed oil, but you can also use olive oil and some balsamic vinegar as well. So all those things together. We're going to get our broccoli washed off, all of our produce washed off first, so we're ready to cut it up. Alright, we got our broccoli. We have some of the green leaves off here. These are from the farmer's market, so they're nice and fresh broccoli. Heads of broccoli you're going to cut down to get your florets. As you got down with your knife, get down to and leave out the stem. Or actually you can also cut up the stem on this too as well. And you get down to pieces like this. What you're going to do is cut them in, there's like 2 or 3 inch size pieces. We're good. You can have a little bit of stem on the florets, is what we call it. When you get to a piece like this, I'm going to cut it down again, just to separate it. You want pieces that you'll be able to put on a fork without them being too big, you know. So that's a little large there. Break that up. There we go. Pieces like that, and we're good on our broccoli. You can even cut up some of the stem. You get to the stem, you can cut it like in half, like that way, and then slice down to get pieces of the stem. There's no use in wasting food. So a lot of good nutrients in those stems too as well. Cut that down just like that, slices. If you have our scallions, you're going to line up your ends on your scallion to take the root parts off. And then we're just going to simply slice, and we're going to use all of the green of the scallion. All the green, just slice that up. That could be about 1/8 of an inch thick, all the way through. And you're going to, of course, use up your green too as well. It's going to add a little texture and garnish to our dish. So get that all sliced up. Next we're going to take our basil leaves, pick those all off the stem. You could go more than 10. If they're smaller, like 20 of them, compared to the 2 heads of the broccoli. Get all those nice stems. Like I said, this is a purple basil, so it's a little bit darker, but you can use a green basil, will work. Alright. The Genovese basil. This is like a purple, semi-purple opal basil, but depends on what you have. We're going to cut chiffonades, so you're going to take 2, 3, or 4 leaves of your basil, like that. You're going to roll them up. Then you're going to slice down nice and thin strips to get your chiffonade cuts of basil just like that. Alright. Next we're going to take our basil leaves, pick those all off the stem. You could go more than 10. They're smaller, like 20 of them, compared to the 2 heads of the broccoli. Get all those nice stems. Like I said, this is a purple basil, so it's a little bit darker, but you can use a green basil, will work. Alright, the Genovese basil. This is like a purple, semi-purple opal basil, but depends on what you have. We're going to cut chiffonades, so you're going to take 2, 3, or 4 leaves of your basil, like that. You're going to roll them up. Then you're going to slice down nice and thin strips to get your chiffonade cuts of basil just like that. Alright. So, we got on our tray, all our broccoli cut up. We got our sliced scallions. We got our basil chiffonade all set. Of course, we got a little pepper flakes there ready to go. We're going to put on about 2 quarts of boiling water to blanch our broccoli. We got our 2 quarts of boiling water. Also, you're going to put a couple pinches of salt in there. Salty like the sea. This will help get us our nice green color on our broccoli for blanching. Blanching means we cook something halfway. We're going to boil it, cook it halfway through, and we're going to shock and stop the cooking. How are we going to do shocking? Check this out. We have a bowl of ice water. There we go, a bowl of ice water for shocking. We're going to be ready for that. But first, let's put in our pot and bring that back to a boil and get ready to start cooking our broccoli. And we're going to do 2 or 3 batches of broccoli. You don't want to overload your pot. So 2 or 3 batches at a time of broccoli, a couple handfuls each time. You're going to put this in for about 2 minutes in the boiling water, 2 to 3 minutes, and we're going to get the nice bright green, and it's going to come back to a boil. Alright, came back to a boil, and that's 2 minutes. We're going to take that out and put it into our ice water. I'm using a spider strainer, any kind of strainer or a spoon that has holes in it. You take that out, you're going to put it in your ice water. There we go. So I'm going to keep going that. I'm going to do another batch. And then plus the stems. I'm putting the stems in there and the rest of the broccoli florets. Do that 2 minutes on this time too as well, a second batch, and get that boiling. You can see the broccoli in there in the cold water. It's icing up, cooling down. As soon as you get it kind of chilled and it's going to stop cooking, you're going to take it out and just drain it really well and put that to the side. There's our second batch. We're going to turn off our water, get this pulled out and shocked as well as those stems, just like that. Get those cooled down and then drained. See, I'm eating some so good. You can see our broccoli all drained out and ready to go. And we're going to get ready to combine everything together. All right, in our mixing bowl, we're going to have 3 tablespoons of balsamic. You can use sherry vinegar too, or white balsamic. 1, 2, and 3 of our balsamic. There we go. All right, in our mixing bowl, we're going to have 3 tablespoons of balsamic. You can use sherry vinegar too, or white balsamic. 1, 2, and 3 of our balsamic. There we go. We got our balsamic in the bottom of the bowl. We're going to make a little vinaigrette. We're going to whisk in 6 tablespoons of olive oil or grapeseed oil. You're going to whisk in slowly and pour and whisk fast and pour slow. Whisk fast and pour slow. Just in there. See, we got that? Just like that. A little temporary emulsion here just to make it easier to coat our broccoli. Now the vinegar is going to change the color of the broccoli a bit, but it's not going to make it totally. It'll take a little of the green out of it, but the flavor added to this basically is a broccoli salad, so it makes it worth it with having the vinegar in there and the flavoring. I like a nice rich balsamic. You use a white balsamic too. The other one I would use is sherry or cider vinegar, but balsamic's going to work best because it has that sweetness. So we got our dressing already made. We're going to get a big bowl to mix this. Broccoli, all in the bowl, drained out. Scallions, yes. And our basil, yes. And 2 pinches of pepper flakes. You can have more pepper flakes if you want. Okay, got all that there. It's all in there nice and cozy. Make sure I didn't miss any. We're going to also add some seasoning to this. A couple pinches each of some salt. There we go. Also some pepper, black pepper. Fresh ground if you want, a couple pinches of each. You can always taste a little bit later on, and it's going to taste different the second day after you refrigerate it too as well. There we go. We add our balsamic or our vinaigrette. There we go, just like that. Get every last drop in there, and you're going to start to fold it over and turn it around, flip it over, turn it around, flip it over, just to get everything melded and mixed very well. It's going to take more than a couple rotations. Keep mixing this around, and you're going to season it actually one more time. You want to taste it and see if you have enough vinegar and oil. If you feel that you don't have enough vinegar and oil, you can always dash like a little more vinegar in there like that, or a little bit more oil, however you feel. But you want to mix it really well before you taste it, okay? It's going to need a little more season. I just tasted it. I actually add a little more pepper flakes to mine too as well, and keep mixing it one more time. Alright, so there we go. Real simple. So let this sit for an hour or two and let it like marinate, and then you're all set. You want to leave it in the fridge to make a great side salad. Have any time of the day. Have it side with meats or plant-based proteins, you name it. All that stuff. I think when you can get the purple basil is awesome because it's great color, but green basil will be it. Pepper flakes, it's mostly green color, but the flavor is really nice here. You can also add nuts to it if you want for a little bit of crunch as well, but I'm just keeping it simple for you. All right.